Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Sunday, let's get into our study group for warriors, for my hardcore heads. I basically just go through my notes. I study every single day. It's part of the program. Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. What's your guys' opinion on long hair on men? I don't have any problem with it. I had long hair for many years. My dad had long hair. At least for a little bit. He got out of prison. My dad bit a cop's thumb off in an arrest. He had a shipment of machine guns. My dad was a gun runner, illegal gun runner. So he did for a living. And he got busted on a machine gun shipment. And in the arrest, he bit a cop's thumb off. And he did some years in jail. My dad's crew, they had lawyers, so he eventually got out. And when he got out, he sent me a picture. First time I'd ever seen my dad in short hair. He looked so weird. I told him, you got to grow it back. Grow your hair back. I don't even recognize you. You look like a nerd. What does the Bible say about men with long hair? What's the rule? Can you have long hair? Big beard, long hair? You say, well, Jesus had it. Turns out he didn't. Oh no, Jesus did not. That image that I got a picture of Jesus with long hair and a beard, that's not Jesus. That's not what Jesus looked like. The earliest depictions of Jesus, he had short hair, real short hair, and he was clean shaven. I guess Jesus was on that shave club for men, and he was getting monthly little razors in the mail and shaving up. Going to his haircut chick. Somewhere down the line, the image of Jesus was changed. I'm not exactly sure why. But you can't have long hair and get into heaven, apparently. In the Bible, it says that a man must have short hair that doesn't cover his head. And it also says that a man with long hair is a shame to himself and to society. Women, you can do what you want. Women, you don't have any rules like this. The men have the rules. It'd probably be a pretty good business. Maybe that's what I'll do. If I get up to heaven, I don't need to go in. You don't need to let me in. I'm just going to sit right out front, giving haircuts. Charge a lot, too. You want to get in? You're going to pay. Let's move to the next one. Here's a question for you. This is a hard question. The simple questions are the hardest. What do you want? That's a hard question. Go ask your chick that when it's date night. You're trying to choose a restaurant. She won't be able to answer it. But you might have to ask yourself that when you're meditating on your mountaintop or when you're driving to work or wherever. Think about that. What is it that you want out of life? What do you really want? What's your dream? What's your biggest goal? What is it that you're here for? What are you going towards? A lot of people can't answer this question. They don't have an answer. They just say, I don't know. We'll figure that out. That'll be a huge step forward. If you can figure out what you want out of life, you will be a step further than most other men. But once you've figured out what you want, I may ask you, why do you want it? Why? Oh, you want your white picket fence? You want to be married with a family? You want this kind of lifestyle or that kind of lifestyle? Why? Why do you want that? Could you answer the why? Could you defend it? If you can figure out what you want and then you can defend why you want it, you're so far down the path. That is some superior shit right there. Because so many people can't do that. But we have to step back and be humble and philosophize on this a little bit. At least I do. You guys can just stop there if you want, but I have to take this further. Because we're talking about want. When someone says, what do you want? The first thing I think about is wanting. Well, what is wanting? What do you mean, want? But when you say want, what do you mean, want? You don't mean need, do you? Do you mean need? No, you said want. Want and need is different. Doesn't it say in the Bible that God says that I'll give you everything you need and nothing that you want? Because what you want is desire. And isn't desire suffering? Isn't desire sin? Well, I don't know. But here's my take on it. I actually believe this, and I believe that you get everything that you want. You get everything that you ask for. And some of you are saying, well, I didn't get what I wanted. Oh, yes, you did. You just didn't know that you were asking for it. You got pain and misery. You were asking for it. You're in the hospital. You were asking for it. Every time you didn't eat better, you were asking for diabetes. Right? Every time you avoided maintenance, you were asking to break down. Aren't we the masters of our own journeys, and don't we get exactly what we deserve and what we want? This is why you have to be very specific in what you want, because you can't get something that you aren't specific with. If I say, what do you want to eat, and you don't know, well, then I guess we're just going to sit here until we starve to death. So you have to be specific, but you also have to be careful what you ask for, because if what you want is donuts and that's all you want, well, guess what? You're going to have a short life. Move to the next one. What's your guys' opinion on time? You think time exists? Einstein said time doesn't exist. It doesn't make sense to me, though, because if I just sit here all day, the sun will rise and fall. My hair grows whether I want it to or not. Time seems to pass. I get older, slowly get older. But I think that we have a construct of the past and the future because we focus on the moment. So we live in this moment, and our brain is doing this to ourselves. It's a trick. We're living in the moment for some reason. This moment of now. There's successive moments of now. Here's now and then now. We're always in the now. There's nothing other than the now. You can get lost in fantasizing about the past, but it's a fantasy. It doesn't actually exist now. The future is the same way. The future is a fantasy. It doesn't exist in the now. So it's all made up. And when we are counting these moments of now, you can have this simulation or this kind of idea that there was a past because you're remembering the successive moments. And time is weird. I was talking with this chick at the coffee shop. Really interesting woman. And we started chatting, and then after a bit, she had to go do her thing and I had to go do my thing. And as we said our goodbyes and we exchanged numbers so we could keep in touch, she's moving to Japan, but we'll keep in touch online. We both noticed that 6 hours had passed. 6 hours. We sat and talked for 6 fucking hours. 6 solid hours. We both thought it was like a trick. Had to check our watches and the clock on the wall. Time is weird. Because you can get into these weird moments where time doesn't exist. I don't know. Let's move on to the next one. We can talk about time forever. Just go around in circles. Let's philosophize on fate. Just a little bit. Determinism. Some people are very deterministic and they believe in fate. Everything happens for a reason, and everything it happens by design. The things that are happening now were caused earlier, so anything that's going on now isn't spontaneous. There's nothing spontaneous. There's nothing random. It's all determined. There's even an idea of superdeterminism. And this has been interesting to me because physicists are now talking about, a lot of them, some of the smartest people in the world, are now talking about how there's no free will. The idea of fate destroys the idea of free will. There is no free will. In free will, we think that there's these potential futures and that my choice in the moment can choose any one of these potential futures. But physicists don't believe that that's possible. That there's no free will. This goes against a long history of the way that we've thought about things, about our consciousness. I believe in free will, in the power of choice. You have a choice today. I have a choice right now. We're all making choices. Your choices determine your future. And you have many different choices. But physicists don't believe in the power of choice. You may think that you're choosing something, but it's already been chosen for you. It's already been predetermined. And the attack is on the idea of free will. And so I've been wondering, why? Why are they coming up with this theory? Why are people attacking free will? Why are people saying that there is no free will? And I have to look at the people saying it. Who's saying this? What type of physicists? Which physicists? It turns out all the physicists that are saying this, all the little scientists that are saying that there's no free will, all the philosophers that are saying that there's no free will, they're leftist, liberal, postmodernists. They're atheists who they're not agnostics where they're open, who knows what's going on. They're atheists where they're viciously at a war to destroy the idea of God. These atheists are in a war against anybody who believes in God and the notion of a God. Scientists want to destroy that. They're viciously atheists, the people that are pushing this theory. And they're also communists. So you have a communist, atheist, liberal with an ideological agenda who's trying to reduce reality and redefine society and all of the rule of law. That's what's going on with this no free will theory. It's a fucking agenda. It's a trick. Here's an idea I thought was interesting. The more successful you get in life, financially, or just with any goal that you have, the more successful you get, the more spiritual you need to be. And you need to do this so materialism, desire, and attachment don't take you over. So when you win, you pray. Let's do one or two more and we'll end this off. See, this follows up with the last one. Are you humble only when things go wrong? A lot of people only go crying to a higher power when things go wrong. You don't believe in shit when everything's going right, but as soon as things go wrong, as soon as you get cancer, as soon as you're looking at prison time, as soon as something goes wrong, your car breaks down and you need to go to work, as soon as something goes wrong, oh, you start praying to God. Why should God do anything for you if all you do is run to him like some kind of little needy little bitch? If all you did was call me up when you needed some help, I wouldn't help you. Let's move to the next one. This may be a good one to end on. Become an expert in failure. Learn how to fail. Learn how to fail properly. Learn what to do when you fail, how to respond to failure. What is the proper response to failure? Think about how you would counsel your child who just failed. Your child just failed miserably. Would you laugh at them and tease them, mock them, bully them, beat them, punish them? No, of course you wouldn't. So learn to be forgiving and loving and introspective so you can move forward. Learn how to fail properly. And if you don't learn how to fail, if you don't become an expert in failure, you will fail all the time and you won't know it. Have a good Sunday.